This holiday season, let's be more aware of who we are in this world as we dig deep into this experience. The Mindfulness Stress Relief 6 CD audio program was designed with your needs in mind. I designed this program because I wanted to share my recovery from an accident and how the techniques I learned got me back on track. The Stress Reduction Home Practice Manual is another tool to use to monitor your progress throughout this experience. Inspirational Conversations Volume 1
Most of all, let's share our love.
is another tool.
This is
A page a day keeps your sanity at bay. Volume 2 is also available. It's a lifelong journey, and we may as well equip ourselves with all the tools and techniques that we can handle, one day, one step at a time. My first book, The Passion Principles, Pathways to Purpose, Power, and Profit, is now available on audio. Date, Rate, Checkmate, A Guide to Your Potential Partner, is a great ebook for those seeking companionship. Marriage is so much more than what we think it is. If you'd like to write about your experiences and earn income from it as well, then consider the Inner Author Guide to Self-Publishing, ebook that you can easily download and get started today. As a bonus, you all have a free download on how I reversed type 2 diabetes at diabeticdonut.com. My personal experience with diabetes show how it's possible to overcome. If I can do it, anybody can. Another bonus is the 2022 It's My Time, I Own It calendar for women. Limited copies available, and I only have a few to share with the first order. These are the tools and techniques I've learned and developed over the years. Are you stressed out? Are you ready to learn some quick techniques on how to de-stress immediately? Then book your free 30-minute consultation with ZeldaSpeaks, the Mindfulness Stress Relief Coach, at higherlearningnetwork.org. Thanks for sharing.
In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
Why can't I hear anything this morning? Well, it is Monday morning mindfulness again. And as you can see, what can go wrong is going wrong. It's called stress relief to the first degree. This holiday season, let's be more aware of who we are in this world as we dig deep into this experience. The Mindfulness Stress Relief 6 CD audio program was designed with your needs in mind. I designed this program because I wanted to share my recovery from an accident and how the techniques I learned got me back on track. I keep getting cut off when I call. The Stress Reduction Home Practice Manual is another tool to use to monitor your progress throughout this experience. Inspirational Conversations Volume 1 is another tool. A page a day keeps your sanity at bay. Volume 2 is also available. It's a lifelong journey, and we may as well equip ourselves with all the tools and techniques that we can handle, one day, one step at a time. My first book, The Passion Principles, Pathways to Purpose, Power, and Profit, is now available on audio. Date, Rate, Checkmate, A Guide to Your Potential Partner, is a great ebook for those seeking companionship. Marriage is so much more than what you think it is. If you'd like to write about your experiences and earn income from it as well, then consider the Inner Author Guide to Self-Publishing ebook that you can easily download and get started today. As a bonus, you all have a free download on how I reversed type 2 diabetes at diabeticdonut.com. My personal experience with diabetes show how it's possible to overcome. If I can do it, anybody can. Another bonus is the 2022 It's My Time, I Own It calendar for women. Limited copies available, and I only have a few to share with the first order. These are the tools and techniques I've learned and developed over the years. Are you stressed out? Are you ready to learn some quick techniques on how to de-stress immediately? Then book your free 30-minute consultation with ZeldaSpeaks, the Mindfulness Stress Relief Coach, at higherlearningnetwork.org. Thanks for sharing. Enjoy the journey, and thank you for joining me this morning on the Female Solution. Welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness. I'm your host, ZeldaSpeaks, and today it is a cashless Christmas. It's a countdown to cashless Christmas. And what does that mean? Well, I am going to be joined by my sisters of the microphone who will be sharing with me this morning, and we'll just all talk about it and see how we can't figure this thing out. How about that? It is Monday, and we're just here to start your week off with the mindfulness stress relief session. And happy Earth Day, birthday, born day. If you're celebrating a birthday, we're celebrating it with you. Yay! Happy Earth Day, birthday, born day to you. And always let us keep in mind those who are affected by the COVID, the pandemic. We're all affected by it, but those who are hospitalized and have breathing issues and things of that nature, so we want to keep them in prayer as well, because it's that time of the year where not everybody is happy that this is a season of joy, because it is not a season of joy. It's a season of stress for half the planet, so we want to keep that in mind. If you're listening online and you'd like to comment this morning, 515-605-9325, press 1 to speak. We're on Facebook.com as well, on our social media, HLNTV1. And that information is scrolling across the bottom of the screen, as well as I'll be showing you something from my WordPress site earlier, what I did over the weekend with the tour of the homeless. And you can check out more of that on our blog, on my blog, ZeldaSpeaks.wordpress.com. And you can also set your DVRs for the Higher Learning Network TV show, which airs Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19 and 24/7 on the World Wide Web. As we take a look at traffic and weather this morning, which is sponsored by Karen Kelly of itex.com, which is a barter organization where if you're a business organization and you have products or services to offer to the general public, you can use barter dollars, and it's recognized by the IRS. So you don't have to worry about that. So that is available for you. As we take a look at the traffic and weather, which is sponsored by Karen Kelly of itex.com, breezy and high 41 degrees today. That's a good day because it was cold yesterday. but 41's a step up, so I'm delighted about that. As we take a look at the weather, it is 41 tonight, down to 24. Excuse me, and back up to 45 for Christmas Day. On the metro, on the Milwaukee West, there are delays to the loop due to mechanical problems. So allow extra travel time. Just always allow extra travel time on a Monday because it's always crazy. No reported delays on CTA, but air traffic, airport travel, expect the unexpected because it's happening already. I don't even have to tell you. Just if you need to be there in 2 hours, leave. Plan for 3 hours or 4 hours because it's holiday travel and it's a hot mess. So as we take a look at the Kennedy inbound, your usual Monday morning delays, 27 inbound and 22 on the reverse. On the Edens, it is 21 inbound from Lake Cook to the junction, 18 on the reverse. On the Eisenhower, of course, it's just a little bit more congested. 31 inbound, 25 on the reverse. 21 inbound on the Stevens and 19 on the reverse. On the day in Ryan, it is 16 minutes in, 95th to the loop, and 13 minutes outbound. On the Bishop Ford, 11 in and 9 out. And on the DuSable Lakeshore Drive, it is 10 minutes in and 9 minutes on the reverse. And that's your traffic and weather, sponsored by Karen Kelly of iText.com. If you'd like a free download of how I reverse type 2 diabetes, it is available at diabeticdonut.com. If I can do it, anybody can do it, okay? Because the time is coming, we're going to be eating all this good stuff that we may or may not be eating. Like I had ice cream the other day and I'm paying for it today. Sometimes you just have to have some butter pecan. I'm sorry. And I'm paying for it. So I'm drinking tea and ginger and water and everything else, trying to flush it out of me. But it's already there in my jeans, so I'm trying to go to the gym when it's over, trying to sweat some of it out. Anyway, today I'm reading from Inspirational Conversations, December 22nd. It says, Where will you live when they diagnose your discomfort within yourself? Where will you live? Will you live in fear, or will you face the fear head on and thank the opportunity to help you grow through the challenge to change the situation? Will you live within that small space within yourself that gave way to this consciousness, that believed in, or will you go within to get the fullness of the truth of which you were brought into this world, that gives you power and dominion? Where will you live? Inspirational Conversations with Shalom Israel, available at higherlearningnetwork.org. Proceeds benefit the Global Virtual Teen Talent Contest, which airs every last Saturday of the month. And for December, there is too much going on, so we decided to wait to January. So that's what we're doing, and we'll hope you'll join us on January 29th from 12 noon until 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you have youth in your family, or just know of youth in the community who can sing, dance, act, write, direct, whatever they do. If you like to enter them into the contest, yes, we're giving away $500. So we want you to get those 1-minute video clips in via YouTube and send it to HLNTVshow@gmail.com. Okay? HLNTVshow@gmail.com. That's where they'll send it. And we will get back to them and have them in the contest. So that's what we do. That's who we are. So we hope you will share the message. Right now, the message is mindfulness. And that is where we take some time this morning before we rush out into the world and just center ourselves and provide a balance, because there's so much chaos and confusion out there. If we are not balanced here mentally, physically, and emotionally before we go out into the world, chaos awaits you, I promise. And you don't need me to tell you that. You experience it every day. So that's why we're just going to do a brief breathing exercise this morning to help you, to assist you in the process of becoming your best self this morning. Okay? So we sit up straight in our chair, feet flat on the floor, nothing in your hands, nothing in your lap, and just open up the body, open up the mind, and take a stretch. Oh, yes, like a cat in the morning. You see how they stretch? That's how we need to stretch. Wake the body up, wake the limbs up. Oh, that feels good. And see, because I'm sitting in a high back chair, I always like to twist like this, grab the back of the chair, and just hold that and breathe in and breathe out. Oh, yes, that feels good. Turn around and grab the other side. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out. You hear me breathing in and breathing out. That's all that mucus from that dairy. Dairy's a no-no when you're lactose intolerant, and I'm paying for it. Okay, I digress. But, every now and then, girl, just got to have some ice cream. What can I say? And I'm paying for it. Anywho, close your eyes. You should not be looking at me, but the inside of your eyelids. And we're going to simply breathe in. Hold it. And breathe out. So begin that process. Inhale to the count of 5. Hold it. Hold it. And exhale through the nose. Continue breathing. Giving thanks for the power of the breath, because someone somewhere has a trachea in their throat. They have congestion. They may have all kinds of breathing illnesses. So that's why it's important that we learn how to breathe. As we breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. Now let's take that breath, see it in our mind's eye. And as we breathe in, bring that breath to the top of the forehead. As we breathe in, hold it, and blow out even longer through the nose, bringing the energy down from the top of the head to the forehead, to the face, to the chin, and to the shoulders. Yes. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Once more. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Do you feel that immediately? Do you feel that immediately from here to here? Ooh, let's do that again. Once more. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale. If you're breathing deep enough, you should feel a wonderful sensation from the top of your head to your neck, to your shoulders. And I want you to take these fingers, these 2 fingers and this thumb, grab the meat in the back of your neck, and that's the vagus nerve. Squeeze on that vagus nerve. Just massage it all up and down your spine. Oh, yes, that feels good. And if you feel like it, take these fingers and massage the back of your shoulders, because that's where we hold all that tension. Let's breathe in. Hold it. Massage. You can knead if you need to, like this, and just knead that and exhale. Oh, yeah, that feels good. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Let's do that some more. Inhale deeply. Hold it while you're kneading, and exhale. Yes. That feels good. Inhale once more. Inhale. Hold it. And as you exhale, feel the breath flowing throughout the upper part of the body, the chest and the shoulders and the sides and the back, as we give thanks. And as we continue to breathe in and breathe out, we give thanks for the power of the breath, because someone somewhere is not as lucky and as fortunate as we are, as we give thanks for the power of the breath. As we continue to breathe in, hold it, and breathe out, sending love, light, and energy down through the stomach, the solar plexus, and the sides, and the hips, and the buttocks. As we breathe in, hold it, and as we breathe out, sending more love, light, and energy down through the thighs. Rub those thighs, rub those knees, because that, ladies and gentlemen, is what keeps us active, keeps us mobile. If you cannot move those hips and legs, then rub them and tell them how much you appreciate them for them moving throughout the day effortlessly. All you do is think, walk, and you walk. How cool is that? As we breathe in, Giving thanks for the power of the energy from the breath that goes down through the thighs and the knees and the legs and the arches and the heels as we breathe in. Doesn't matter if we're breathing together or not, as long as you are breathing, taking long, deep breaths, because you're sending love, light, and extended energy through all the parts of your body as you continue to breathe in. Hold it. And as you breathe out, sending more love, light, and energy down through the legs, the ankles, the arches, the insteps, and the toes. Yes, wiggle those toes, sending that love, light, and energy back up through the feet as we breathe in. Bringing more love, light, and energy up through the ankles and the arches, and the legs, and the knees, and the hips, and the thighs, and the buttocks, and the back as we breathe in. Continue breathing. Doesn't matter if we're not breathing together, as long as we're breathing. That's what's important. As we breathe in, we give thanks for the higher learning hip roll. Why are you doing that, Zelda? Because sitting is the new smoking. And if you sit all day, your joints are not moving. That's why we breathe in. Get a little interaction going on the inside. And we hold it and we breathe out. All through the nose. Yes, breathe in once more. Bringing that breath up through the solar plexus and the sides and the chest and the back of the neck as we massage those shoulders again, sending them love, light, and energy. You're not watching me, you're loving your body and breathing, because this is what will help you in times of chaos and confusion as you raise those hands above your hands and stretch as we breathe in. And as we breathe out. As we take one more long, last, deep inhale deeply. Bringing that breath back up through the shoulders and the head and the forehead and back up to the top of the head as we give thanks for the power of the breath, because someone somewhere is not as fortunate as we are, because we can breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. What a blessing, what a blessing, what a blessing. As we begin the process, let's take one more long, last, deep inhale deeply. Hold it. And as you exhale, tilt the head forward, chin to chest, and slowly rotate the head to the right. That's why you're sitting up straight, so we won't have a problem with the back. As you slowly rotate that head around to the back. Slow down, you're moving too fast. Slowly rotating to the right and back around to the front. Chin to chest, head up, inhale deeply. Hold it. Bring the head back down, chin to chest, and rotate that head to the right. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Oh, yes, feel that stretch. And slowly rotating the head to the left and back around to the front. Head up, inhale deeply. And exhale. Oh, yes, that feels good, doesn't it? Once more, let's do it again. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, turn your head to the left as far as you can, feeling the stretch in the right of the neck. Yeah, that feels good, doesn't it? Yeah. And as you exhale, bring the head back front and center. Inhale once more. Hold it. And as you exhale, bring the head to the right as far as you possibly can, feeling the stretch in the left side of the neck. Ah, yes, that feels good. Bringing the head back forward. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Oh, what a wonderful way to start the day. Woke the body up, gave it directions that it's going to be a wonderful day, and it will. And when chaos and confusion comes your way, you simply do what? You inhale deeply and exhale through your mouth. But why through the mouth, Self? Because if you got a little funk on your breath, a little stank, like some garlic, onion, forgot to brush your teeth, I promise you, whoever you are in front of, they will back up. They'll be talking to you like this. Oh, okay, yeah, really, Zelda? Oh, okay, yeah, girl, okay. Trust me. Don't trust me. Try it. How about that? As you inhale deeply and exhale, your body is loving you right now. So, and you're wondering why you're smiling, because you have just activated the happiness gene. And to take it just a step further, let's tell the universe what we want this morning by repeating two of the most powerful words on planet Earth, and that is I know you know, I am. So, whatever you put after these words, be very mindful of the words that you use, because those are the types of experiences that you will have when you say those words, I am. So, right now, for the purpose of practice, we're going to say, I am happy. Yes. Inhale deeply. I am happy. Even if you're not happy, just say it, because you're sending signals of love and light and positive energy throughout the body. And eventually, the body will believe it, because the mind directs the body to what to do. How simple is that? So say it, even if you don't feel it. I am happy. And you got to say it like you mean it, like you just won the lottery. You can't say, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm whole and complete. No, you're not. I am happy. Inhale deeply. I am healthy. Inhale deeply. I am whole and complete. Zelda, why am I talking out loud? Because words have wings, and you want those words that have wings to fly and circumvent your entire area, your area of where you are living and breathing in the space. That is the kind of armor that you want around you. The Bible talks about putting on your coat of armor. Well, that's what this is. When you do that in the morning, you brace yourself, you protect yourself for the day. I am happy. I am healthy. I am whole and complete, just as I am. Doesn't that feel good? Resonate in your body? Sure it does. Do it again. Breathe in, inhale deeply. Hold it. And as you exhale, I am happy. Don't sing, Zelda. Hush. I am healthy. Didn't I tell you to shut up? I am whole and complete. Don't worry. I talk to myself sometimes. And it feels good. Why do you talk to yourself, Zelda? Because I have all the answers as it relates to me and my experience anyway. So when you see people on the street talking to themselves, don't call them crazy. Just having a conversation with themselves. Some have a little more conversations than others, and let us not be judgmental. Our responsibility is to our own community, and that community is the community within. That is the community of the brain. Let's inhale together. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale. As we give thanks for the power of the breath, the power of the brain to send the signals through the breath to the rest of the body. Place your hand on your heart and on your forehead at the same time. I am. As we breathe in, I am the protector of this vessel, and I give thanks that I use my breath to protect myself whenever harm appears to be in my direction. Inhale deeply. I am happy, healthy, whole, and complete. And remember that when you are experiencing a challenge, all you have to do is breathe in and breathe out. And take it a step further. Talk to the parts of your body. Give thanks for the brain. I give thanks for the brain as I inhale deeply. I give thanks for the brain, for my heart that is beating so that I can have this conversation with you this morning. I give thanks for my liver, my lungs, my spleen, my spine. All of that is working on our behalf, and we don't even know it as we do the higher learning hip roll this morning as we breathe in. And as we breathe out. How about that? And there are more experiences like that on my YouTube channel, along with testimonials of experiences people have had with the breathing exercise. And if you find yourself in a situation where you are being challenged, you simply breathe in and you simply breathe out. And I ask that you share this with someone. Each one teach one. Why? Because if I am upset and you come and have a conversation with me, I'm going to give you all of that negative energy. But if you had took 5 minutes that morning, put on the armor, put on your shield, send out all the happiness signals, if you have all of that done already, it will just bounce off like walls. And you just simply look at them. Okay. Be not judgmental, but just be aware and share that with them while I share this commercial with you. So stay close and I'll be right back. I promise. And I can't hear it. Can you hear it? Nope, I can't hear it either. So don't worry about it. But it's playing back there in the background. As we breathe in, I'm talking to myself now. And as we breathe out. And as we are breathing in, as we continue to breathe out, I am going to share with you the Female Solution promo that I am pretty sure you will enjoy. And if you'd like to call in this morning, 515-605-9325, and remember to press 1, because if you don't press 1, we don't know that you're here. Okay? And I am looking for the file. There it is. And I'm going to share that with you. So here we go. It's Monday morning mindfulness.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with ZeldaSpeaks. Tuesdays, Self-Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Female Solution. Our host, the Female Solution. And every day of the week, Monday through Friday, from 7 a.m. until 9 a.m., we have this experience ready for you. And on Saturdays from 12 noon until 2 p.m. I have to think about that on Saturdays. Okay. And then I have another promo here to show you. Nope, that's not it. Let me move right over here to Monday morning mindfulness promo. That's what I want to show you. Yeah, we're having a few difficulties here this morning. That's what happens, but that's okay, because I'm going to pull it up for you. And slowly but surely, that is not the one I want. Of course, something keeps coming up that I don't want. That's how things work here. So I'm just going to move that over here so that you can see the new mindfulness stress relief promo that I made for the entire family, because there is so much stress out here and we all can benefit from this. So just know that I made this specifically for you. with you, designed with you in mind. This holiday season, let's be more aware of who we are in this world as we dig deep into this experience. The Mindfulness Stress Relief 6 CD audio program was designed with your needs in mind. I designed this program because I wanted to share my recovery from an accident and how the techniques I learned got me back on track. The Stress Reduction Home Practice Manual is another tool to use to monitor your progress throughout this experience. Inspirational Conversations Volume 1 is another tool. A page a day keeps your sanity at bay. Volume 2 is also available. It's a lifelong journey, and we may as well equip ourselves with all the tools and techniques that we can handle, one day, one step at a time. My first book, The Passion Principles, Pathways to Purpose, Power, and Profit, is now available on audio. Date, Rate, Checkmate, A Guide to Your Potential Partner, is a great ebook for those seeking companionship. Marriage is so much more than what you think it is. If you'd like to write about your experiences and earn income from it as well, then consider the Inner Author Guide to Self-Publishing ebook that you can easily download and get started today. As a bonus, you all have a free download on how I reversed type 2 diabetes at diabeticdonut.com. My personal experience with diabetes show how it's possible to overcome. If I can do it, anybody can. Another bonus is the 2022 It's My Time, I Own It calendar for women. Limited copies available, and I only have a few to share with the first order. These are the tools and techniques I've learned and developed over the years. Are you stressed out? Are you ready to learn some quick techniques on how to de-stress immediately? Then book your free 30-minute consultation with ZeldaSpeaks, the Mindfulness Stress Relief Coach, at higherlearningnetwork.org. Thanks for sharing. And thank you for watching. Enjoy the journey. And a journey it is. Thank you so much for joining us this morning here on The Female Solution on blogtalkradio.com. We're having a few problems with the challenges, I should say, this morning, as I am joined by my sister of the microphone. Shalom, sis. Thank you for this morning, looking glorious as ever.
I try my best.
Yes, you do a good job, my sister. Hey, black and white this morning. Yeah. We got the memo.
Well, I'm looking forward to quite a conversation. And I'm glad that our Facebook family can join us today. We do have a little bit of a technical difficulty with the switchboard. So if you've called in and got a busy signal or it cut you off, it wasn't us.
No, it was not us.
Looking that out. We're doing our best.
Yes.
However, you can see us live here on Facebook on the higherlearningnetwork.org. So make sure you tune on in and write in your comments because we want you all to join this conversation.
Oh, and let me put this up here for those who don't know. It is for our Facebook page. It is I have it up here somewhere. Facebook.com. Whoa, it's scrolling down there. There it is. It is scrolling. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV Show, and our Facebook channel. Actually, it's HLN TV1. Facebook, we had to change it because we were in competition with somebody else. So it's not TV show anymore. It is Facebook.com HLN TV1. So thank you so much for joining us. I don't know what you did over the weekend, Naima, but yesterday I went to another women's event with
Yeah.
ronsway.com. It's for women over 50. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
goodness, I wish you could have them every week. They are simply phenomenal. And I had my girlfriend with me of 55 years who is a little under the weather, and she went and it just revived her spirit, and I thought to invite her at the last minute because I knew she wasn't feeling well, and I just told her, I didn't ask her if she wanted to come. I said, get your clothes on, I'm coming to get you. I didn't got her. And we just had such a good time. It was from 1 to 4. We didn't leave until at like 5:30. And I was like, it was like a Sunday brunch where some women had on their lounging clothes. I had on sweatshirt and a t-shirt. I wasn't wearing no pajamas. It was like it was too cold. That's what the young folks do. But anyway, everybody was very comfortable, relaxed. We had wine and cheese and apples, and she had some treats for us, and little hors d'oeuvres. And it was just very lightening. And sisters got up and shared who they are, what they did, and what it means this season to them. And it was just a very positive experience, and I enjoyed that. It was pretty much like our experience on Monday mornings. I mean, excuse me, Sunday mornings when we have our sister call
That's
with the
nice.
microphone. So it was really nice, and I appreciate that. So I know your day was full, but I'm going to invite all of my sisters to the next one because I think the next one probably be in February. I'm guessing. I don't know because she doesn't do them every month. She does them like every other month. But it was so much demand for her to do it again. She did it again. I was like, okay, well, thanks for inviting me.
Mm.
Anyway, her name is Rhonda Thomas, and her website is ronsway.com. I promise. Oops. I did that wrong. I wanted to show that to you, but there it is. And I got two M's, so that is not right. I'm so excited. I got two M's. It's ronsway.com. Powerful sister, Rhonda Thomas. And she's about this big and a little ball of energy. It's like, girl, where do you get that
Mm.
energy from? She's contagious,
Wow.
infectious, in a good way because you feel her spirit, you feel her energy, and she's just bouncing all over the place. So I just wanted to share that with you. So check it out.
Mm.
Also, check out my blog over the weekend. I had the opportunity to tour again with Dr. Willie Wilson, who did the homeless tour of all the tent cities in the city. Um, nope, that's not it. That's not what I want. Um, I want to show you my blog as soon as I can remove this. Dr. Willie Wilson, for those of you know, who he has run for several offices and not was not successful in any of them. But that's okay because he is doing God's work. And when you are doing God's work, it may appear that you are not succeeding, but you really are because you're doing the work that you were asked to do, that you were put here on this planet. And as you can see, my blog there, that is Dr. Willie Wilson. There it is. Yeah, that is he. And on the right hand side, that is Congressman Danny Davis with the white jacket on. He's part of the entourage there. Is Dr. Willie Wilson with the with the brown hat on. And that is Mr. Boykin. um, Richard Boykin, I think his first name is. And this is one of the pastors. I think his name was Andre Smith. And as you can see back here, you see the tents. This is the one on Chicago Avenue. Now, let me tell you how spirit works because I made a mistake in the time. The first one was at 6 o'clock. The next one was at 7. I made a mistake and thought it was at 7. So each place that I went to, these were on the west side. One was on Sacramento, right off of California, and Kedzie. So every time I got to one, they had just left. So I was I was a little dismayed, and so I started breathing and just thinking. Um, I'm in the car, and Tony's a little anxious because he has to be at work on at like 7 o'clock in the morning. He has to be there at 7, so he's ready to get home and go to bed. and I'm not saying anything. I'm just doing my deep breathing. And Spirit told me to go down Kedzie Avenue up to Chicago Avenue and make a right where I know that there's another tent city. And lo and behold, I pull up. Who's there?
Who is there?
They are just getting out of the car.
Great. Good
So I
timing.
feel that to say this, pay attention to the still small voice. I don't care if somebody's sitting next to you, all up in your ear, telling you they ready to go home, go to bed. Listen to that still small voice. And because I listened to that voice, I had the opportunity to once again be in the midst of a man who is on a mission to help the homeless. And he has, they gave me a flyer. It's here somewhere. I want to show it. And I'll post it on my blog later, where they have, actually, there is a place for people who are homeless, and they will pay. Oh, they just got all kinds of programs now that will help you get jobs in every single industry there is, from hospitality, construction, general labor, warehousing, automotive, you name it. They've got jobs for the homeless. And this is what I wrote on my blog. And it says, have you ever thought about how it feels trying to sleep on a cold ground in the middle of the night in winter in Chicago? Well, that's the chilling thought that ran through my body last night as I was trying to keep warm, holding the camera with my gloves on.
Wow.
Filming Dr. Willie Wilson's team. It was cold. And just think, we were just cold for just a few minutes. Just a few minutes. Think about the people who have to sleep out there.
That's right. They don't have a choice.
They don't have heaters and they don't have generators. That is why you see this scrolling on the bottom. Cash App or ZeldaSpeaks to make donations to the homeless to help purchase generators and heaters. All the donations are tax deductible. So you're out there shopping this week, because Christmas is Saturday. Think about the homeless. If you only take $5 or $10 or $500 or $5,000, you don't even have to send it to me. Just go get a generator or get together with somebody on your block and get generators and heaters, because we are our brother's keeper. We are being watched. You know that, right?
Absolutely.
You know that the Creator has put us here for a reason. And if we are not using our resources to help our brethren, in the words of Shaka Khan, I feel for you. And I ain't gonna sing the rest because I can't sing, but I feel for you. So I just want to share that.
Right.
It is and why do you do this, Zelda? Because in February 18th, 2019, my little brother Douglas Robinson was murdered by a homeless man. He was homeless too. And so I was never aware of the extent of the homelessness until I went down to Tent City. So we started delivering blankets and food and clothing and things of that nature. But it's still cold. It's never enough. They need to be off the street. But until then, you can take them generators and heaters. And if you don't have one, get together on your block, buy a heater. And I promise you. Now, not only the one right there on Chicago Avenue and Kedzie, just east of Kedzie, like a half a block. There's one on Wilson Avenue. There's one on Lawrence Avenue. It was at Belmont and right off the expressway, whatever that is, right there on Belmont as you're about to get on the ramp. There's one there. And these are working people. These are not bums. These are not addicts. These are people who are working every day.
Just don't have enough to pay for a roof.
Have enough to pay this high ass rent. Excuse my French. They just don't have enough.
Yes.
So let us not be judgmental, but let us be loving and warm this Christmas, this holiday season, and share what we have. And I'm going to get off my soapbox and get back to the cashless Christmas. How about that?
Well, I guess that kind of leads us to this cashless Christmas, because, if we can really give what we have to those who need and get rid of a lot of the things we've been hoarding, we don't have to spend money, but we can
spend something that is more valuable, and that is the time to go through that which we don't really need or use, but would be so valuable and helpful for people who don't have, people who are out in the cold. I mean, how many of us have blankets to just sit around, and you could spare a blanket, you could spare a pillow,
Yes.
you could spare some old boots that you don't wear, you don't like. Maybe you think they're ugly. Well, that's fine. Somebody will they'll save a feet from getting frostbite. So a frostbite. So I think if we would just think with compassion and not judgment, because a lot of times people get caught up on, well, they probably on drugs, they probably criminals. It doesn't matter. Like you said, there are people who are working people, but what they get paid is not a living wage, not enough to buy a room that would be shelter for you. And I used to give we used to take sandwiches and clothing to the people who were selling the Streetwise magazines, and many of the homeless would explain the situation, in terms of what it costs for one room. If you're gonna get one of those, they call them SROs,
Single room occupancy.
I mean, you got to hustle enough money to just pay for one night.
Yep.
So can you imagine living day to day under that kind of stress? And if you don't make enough for that day, you're on the street, and people, they look at you with disdain, like, hey, homeless person. What's wrong with us, with our judgmental self and lacking in compassion? And then we'll go in and blow a bunch of money buying garbage or buying gifts, or useless stuff for people who just take it and toss it. They don't really even need it or want it, just add some more stuff they're hoarding in their house. So we really do need a cashless Christmas. We really do need to do some meaningful giving.
Like you say in the opening statement, if everybody would just share,
that's right.
There is plenty to go around.
There's plenty to go around.
You don't have to be Scrooge. Because the thing about it, Naima, and I met a lady, a nurse. Her and her husband were out there. Well, they weren't there this time, so evidently they saved up enough money. This was a nurse who takes care of people for a living, who was homeless on the street. She was there because we went to many of them. I've got a whole list of them here. This is the one that we went to. Oh, Uptown Tent City. It's under the viaduct on Lawrence and Marine Drive. This was a nurse.
Wow.
This was a nurse who takes care of people every single day.
Wow.
And she was on the street. Well, she's not there now, so I assume that they found a place. But this is just a list of the places that we went on Friday. Belford House and Matthew House will be combined. They're 3745 South Indiana. They serve the homeless youth. See, this was brought to my attention too, because I didn't know that there were as many homeless youth as there are from 1924.
Yes.
Matthew House on 3722 South Indiana. They serve adult men and women, 60 to 80 people. The North Side Housing Shelter, 941 West Lawrence. They serve adult men. The Uptown Tent City, that's the viaduct on Lawrence and Marine Drive. Breakthrough Ministries, 402 North St. Louis. That was Friday's itinerary. Thursday, we were Congressman Danny Davis was at 2715 West Harrison. Also Walls Memorial, 200 South Sacramento. And last but not least, Kedzie and Chicago Avenue, the outdoor tents is where I found them. And I am so glad I listened to my first vibe, because you really feel bad when you have intentions to do something and it doesn't turn out that way, and then you beat up on yourself. So I got this little monkey sitting on my shoulder. See, you should have checked the time. You should have checked the time. I showed up and explained to Dr. Willie Wilson what happened, and as we were in route to every place, and he was like, "Don't worry, just come tomorrow."
Yes, I understand. Danny Davis is doing a thing today as well.
Oh, he is.
Yes, and Walt Whitman as well. I think, I don't know if this in the, well, Whitman's, I think, is on 55th and State. I'm trying to check the places as we speak so I can give accurate information. They're working with Toys for Tots, giving some things out to children who don't have things, some basics, working with families who don't have money to be buying gifts because they're in survival mode.
But, and why are we telling them this lie anyway? You work hard all year round, and you're going to tell them that a man shows up in a red suit and he spent all this money, and your mom and dad is never home because they're working so hard to buy you these things, and you're going to give credit to somebody else. I don't understand that. My mama never did that. She said, look, baby.
I'm paying for this.
I'm paying for this. You wonder why I'm never home? Because I'm working. I only had one Christmas that I remember, and I got a dress, and I was happy as hell.
Sometimes this season is a time to get those necessities that you need, like clothing. I mean, usually when you're a child, you don't understand anything. I got a sweater, but this is what you needed. You wanted the doll or the skates, but you needed the sweater. So parents have to be practical and teach children the value of things. Yeah, toys are nice, but that's what you got an imagination for. You can make your own toys.
And then we want to beat the imagination out of them. Girl, I was looking at a movie the other day. Here comes my baby with his imaginary friends. And you gonna tell me stop?
Right.
Really? This is the mother.
Because she don't know no better. She doesn't realize that imagination is very powerful. That's how you create with your imagination. First, you have to see it. Then you can be it. But you have to have an imagination. So that's where all creative ideas come from. I think it was Trevor Noah was telling the story about how when he was a boy, his favorite favorite toy was a brick, and you pretend like it's a car. But it's so funny him telling that story. But hey, bricks that when they're doing construction, they have these bricks, so they'd be looking for the best brick you can use it, pretend it's a car, all that. It's, imagination costs nothing. So if we can encourage children to use their imagination. I mean, as a child, you can make a stick anything in your mind, all kinds of things. We've lost that. Now everything's got to be all electronic, and you got to, plug it in. Got batteries, got to do this, got these parts. The imagination's gone.
Yep.
And so children, we beat it out of them.
Yep.
So, and what you say about telling them the Santa Claus thing, I think it's time for us to put that to rest. I think we can give credit to what's his name, Kris Kringle or Saint Nicholas, whoever the original person was from, I think, Sweden, that was giving toys or gifts or whatever. I mean, we can go through the history of who that was, but let's let that go and stop saying, okay, this is the person coming down your chimney buying you stuff, because parents work hard and they need their children to appreciate their hard work. And they also need to teach children the importance of giving, but giving value of things, not just buying things because the TV says you should buy it. Think of how you can give time to a senior member of the family. Go and read a story to them, or maybe go and bake cookies with them, or something valuable that they'll remember. You can give the gift of a good memory with somebody. It doesn't have to be a lot of money that you spend, but this season should be about teaching the value of people. And that's how you raise children with higher moral and ethical values, because you're teaching them the value of a human being. That's missing in the Santa Claus story.
Yes.
It just, I should get something, or for being, all of you naughty or nice. I mean, all that's so silly, because in the mind of a child, and I think I had this conversation with my sisters on our show, Three Black Moms, and we talk on every Sunday at 5 on our YouTube channel. And I think we talked about, what do you tell your children about Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy? And they're all into, it's just all, harmless fun. I remember as a child always knowing it was a joke. So it wasn't like I came to this realization, oh, they lied to me. I always knew it was a joke. And maybe, I just was, I think third born or the last born child, you kind of, you don't have the same gullibility, because, all the siblings are older and they all know better. And so you don't swallow it. But there are people who will think that that's a good thing to do because they think, well, children need a little fun in their lives. Well, actually, what you teach them is not to appreciate your hard work.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get maybe 10, 11 years old and they realize, ain't no fat white guy coming down their chimney.
Okay.
But by then they're still feeling entitled, even though by then they know that it's you working, but they still want you to keep being Santa Claus and acting like it's, okay for you to spend all your rent money for this new electronic toy that the TV says they should have.
Right.
And then if you're a parent who's feeling guilty because maybe you scuffle, maybe you can't get them things, or maybe you're going through a divorce, so they guilt you into spending more than you should, and that's happening in a whole lot of homes.
Oh
So, you end up making impractical decisions, and then you're mad about it because then now you got to pay the price. In January, you realize you spent all your bill money, so now you're stressed.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold, and you might get your heat cut off because you spent all your bill money on gifts that the children either broke by then or lost interest in, and then you're mad at them for being ungrateful.
Right. How you gonna act?
Yeah. So we need to end that cycle. We need to end that whole cycle of mindless spending and neglect of people. And I'm grateful for all of those, especially Willie Wilson. He gives all year long.
All year long, not just sometime, all of the time.
Yes, because these people are homeless all year,
Hello.
So, I mean, December 26th, they're going to still be out there on the ground.
Yep.
Cold. So what are we going to do? And, June 1st, they'll still be there.
Yes.
In the heat on the ground.
Yep.
So we need to do some things that will change that condition, change the conditions that created that, and have more compassion for people who really are surviving day to day.
Mm-hmm.
Not make up a story in their head. Well, I ain't giving them $1. They might go buy some drugs. But how much drugs you gonna buy for $1? Come on.
Thank you.
So I always think a little bit like this. I can give as much as I know that I can replace. And if I got $5, $10, $20, and okay, how hard is it for you to earn another $5, $10, $20? It's not gonna kill me. Give the money. Don't worry about they're gonna buy drugs.
Right.
You know what? If I'm really worried about them buying drugs, then I'll go buy food. But do something. If you're gonna spend money, spend it in a way that's meaningful, because you don't know. A hungry person, they might do anything. Now, if I'm hungry, I'm more likely to rob you than if I'm full.
Yeah.
I can't figure out how to get enough money to buy a hamburger, and it's easy for me to just snatch your purse and figure you got enough in there to be buy. Then that's be the choice that I would end up making. Right. So you can stop a person from making a bad choice out of desperation if you would just share.
If you would just share something you were taught as a kid. Mm-hmm. To just share. You can't keep all them crayons and candy to yourself. You may as well share them.
Yeah. Just share, and then everybody can have fun. Everybody can have joy. Everybody will be at peace. Nobody trying to snatch from you because you're sharing. And that's, I think, what was that there? I think it was on Deborah's show Saturday. We were talking about ending war and what it would take, and people taking from others. Going to somebody else's country and taking things or trying to overpower them. Okay, well, if other places have food and where you're living, you don't have any, and they won't share, then what are you going to do? You're going to go and try to take theirs. So when you don't provide an honest way for people to get what they need, you create a climate for theft. And then if you punish people for trying to get what they need and you won't share, then you create a climate for violence.
Yep.
So if we can simply share what we have so that everybody has what they need, then nobody will be inclined to steal. Mm-hmm. It's just that simple.
But you gotta share. You gotta share. It's been given to you, and it didn't come to you for you to keep it. You're just a vehicle from which it comes through.
Right.
It didn't come to stay. That's what hoarding is all about. We forget.
Right.
It's not about us and our experience. It's about that material thing which showed up in your life to show you something. Oh, hopefully you got the lesson and you send it on its way to the next person. So hopefully they can get the lesson too. And
Right.
if they don't, it'll come back. It'll show up in another pair of pants, another skirt, another bad attitude, another boss. It's going to show up. So you may as well just let it come through you and not try to hold on to it, because we always trying to hold on
Right.
to ourselves because we may not get another.
That's right. Well, we're building a system of sharing that will make it easier for people. And the system is called service, sharing Earth's resources, voluntarily implementing creative exchange. And the first thing for people to do is to recognize the abundance they have. So that means make a list of everything you have. Now, just think if you were to go in your house and make a list of everything in categories, all your clothing, all your appliances, all your shoes, all of your furniture. I mean, make a list of every single thing you own. And you realize that the overabundance that you have.
You got all this stuff. Girl, you need to share.
All of this is your wealth. So now, if you have more than you need, and we all do, because you have 10 pairs of shoes and maybe 2 of them are the ones you wear every day because those are the ones you like. The rest of them are
just to say I got them.
To say you got them, but you don't even wear them. They don't even match anything you have. So just sitting there. So the thing is to first recognize the abundance of wealth that you already have.
And if you live in America, you already have it. You have forgotten about it.
Because you got to create a mindset of I have. If your mindset is I don't have enough money, I don't have enough clothes, I don't have enough shoes, I don't have enough furniture, I don't have, whatever you start thinking you don't have, that's the energy that you're living by. Yep. And that's what creates hoarding, because you keep thinking, I don't have enough. So you keep holding on to things rather than letting them go because you're thinking, I don't have. We need to create the mindset of I have. And then think about what it is that you like to do. What are you good at? How would you like to serve humanity? How do I serve? Well, let's see. I write stories. I do videotape. How do I serve? Some people might say, well, I do accounting. I teach, or I braid hair, or I cut hair, or I sew clothing, or I bake cookies. How do I serve? This is what you can give. This is the service that you can share for people who need what you do. And then all the things you have, those are things that you can give. So just think, if you just match people up with what you need and what they have and what they need and what you have, both ways that you can give your time and ways they can give you their time. Now, sometimes you might not have an equal exchange, but you've given to somebody. So you should get some service points for that.
That's right.
And then based on how you've served someone else, then someone else may choose to serve you.
And it's funny how that it will come back to you, not in ways that you anticipated. It never comes back that way. It always comes through something else. You might have needed, you might have been short in the grocery line 13 cents, and somebody just gives you a quarter.
Yeah.
You might have been waiting in line, and you in a hurry, and somebody let you in line. They got
you got 2 baskets for you. Got 2 things you need to or get out the store. It happens all the time. So this can become a way of life where we just choose to share, choose to give, choose to serve. And we're not working for money. We're working for the things that we need, but then people will give them to us because they have them. So basically, this is a way to cut out the middleman, which is money.
Yes.
And just do the things for each other. Once we have the mindset of I have, then you can think of ways you can give, you can serve, you can share. But you first have to know that you have. if you don't have a single possession, you have your own self and you can serve.
Thank you.
Even if what you do for a living is scrubbing floors. A whole lot of floors need scrubbing. So that's a good service.
Yes.
Whatever it is. So we can create a means of exchange that does not involve a single penny.
A dime. Don't need it.
Don't
Don't want it.
All
Don't
you need is
have
people being willing to share.
Because we've been taught
Yes.
to use cash. And just like we've been taught to use cash, we can be untaught. We got more things than we'll ever need.
That's right. That's right. So it really is a way for us to learn how to live together and cooperate again, rather than us withholding what people need so they get to the point of desperation, they start stealing and then violently stealing and then killing so you don't tell anybody that they stole, because that's where all the crime comes from ultimately, is people feeling that they can't. Okay, and how do you serve people? What do you do? Oh, well, I can wash your windows. Oh, that's good. Okay, I need that. Oh, I might not need anything from you, but you can give this person over here something. They need some windows washed. Okay. And everybody's helping everybody. And nobody needs to pay anybody, because what do we need money for? Money's just a middleman that we can cut out. If we create the relationship, it's a different mindset, but it's the higher consciousness that we're evolving to. We already see the monetary system has been, even though it was originally meant to be a means of exchange, it's been corrupted as a means of now withholding.
Yes.
You feel like you're better than somebody. I make more money than you. I'm better than you. I should be treated better than you. And so that's what happens. I mean, when you start treating people according to what they have, then you create a hierarchy with the people who have more get treated better. So what was that insanity that was going on some years ago where young people were killing each other over a pair of expensive shoes or a jacket? So the idea is, well, I want to have your jacket, then I'll be treated better because I'll have this jacket. How insane is that? And yet that's what was happening. People killing each other over Air Jordans or a starter jacket or whatever. Because the thought is, well, I'll have status. I'll have the clothing that makes people treat me with respect because I have this thing. That's what we've done. So we created this whole situation that we're living in now, where people who have things are living in fear. But if I take what they have so that they can have the status of looking wealthy and being treated well. I'll steal your car, so then I'll look like I have money. I have your car.
I'll go buy a car I can't afford.
Yeah, really. Go buy a car I can't afford.
Wind up living in that car.
And wind up living in it because you can't afford to pay your rent.
Right.
So all your money goes to the car. So you end up with a mobile home.
Yeah. just so I can look good in my community. I'm balling.
Yeah. I see it all the time.
Balling, all right.
But it comes from us creating an environment where we treat people better if they look like they have money. And we treat people badly if they look like they don't have money.
Right.
So why are we doing that? What's inside of us that makes us choose to treat people badly if they don't have money?
Can you say that again? What's inside of us that makes us want to treat people badly? That's good.
Well, the whole idea is I'm better than you. So if I treat you badly, that means I'm better than you. Why would you believe that? Why would you believe that the power to treat someone badly makes you better? Where would you get that notion? Because a better person treats people better. So if the standard of being a good person is in the way you treat people, and if you treat them well, and if we value that, then that's the kind of society we'll have. That's what our children will see. But if our children see us treating people better who have more money, then that's what they learn. Oh, in order to be treated with respect, I need to have money. If I don't have money, I might be treated badly.
This is what Darylyn Kelly says. I use my cash to pay the bills I made using my cards. I never pay interest because I pay in full. Yeah. You, Darylyn Kelly, are the exception to the rule.
Right.
Because not very many people do that. Most people got this many credit cards with this much credit, this much debt. So kudos to you, Darylyn Kelly. Thank you, sis.
And that's how banks make their money off of interest. So
that's a good strategy.
Their whole, I mean, they don't want you to pay off your cars. They
want because they're making money for you.
Pay a minimum. So you can end up paying for stuff, 12 times over because it took you a year to pay it. And if we can just choose to not do that. I mean, credit cards can be a convenience. You need something now, and maybe you get paid later. But when you get to the point where that becomes a lifestyle, where people, and you should realize when you keep getting extended more and more credit, the idea is for you to go deeper and deeper in debt. And then that's enslaving you because now you can't stop working. Now, even if you're working in a place you hate, you have to
find your way out of it.
Because you got to, right.
Can't find your way out of it.
So if you control your spending and not just get things because you've been told that this thing will give you status. I will be treated better if I have this thing. If you
status.
Yeah.
You said something very important. Status.
Yes.
And that is a problem all over the world.
Yes.
As Tyler Perry had in the movie, The Have and the Have-Nots.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And people are addicted to that.
Because we have, as a collective body, have allowed ourselves to be conditioned to treat people better if they look like they're wealthy. And the idea is, if I make friends with them, maybe they'll give me some of their money, or maybe if I'm associated with them, then I can be treated well also. Or because they're wealthy, they're more important. And if they treat me, if they notice me or acknowledge me, then I will feel important. All of these thoughts that don't make any sense. Because the reality is no one owns anything. We are all here borrowing these bodies that we have and borrowing everything that the earth has given us to create whatever we need. But it's all on loan. Once we leave out of here, it all stays right here. Even this body that we have borrowed.
Yep. But you don't know that if you're sitting in front of a machine that directs your thinking all day, and that machine is probably the one that you're looking at now.
Yeah.
That's why you have to carve out some me time first thing in the morning, sometime during the day, and the last thing at night.
Absolutely. And the challenging thing is to not be influenced by what you see. You almost have to immediately debrief yourself as you watch things. What are they trying to get me to do? Why are they saying this? What are they trying to get me to think? What is their agenda? Because you have to realize that everything you see and hear is not by accident. There's a reason that you're being told. Everything you're being told is to get you to do something. It's to influence your behavior. So you got to think, what behavior are they trying to influence? What are they trying to get me to do? And once you realize it, then that makes you immune to the brainwashing because you can see through it.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you continue to do what you've been doing, you'll always get what you've always got.
Yes. You keep doing what you're doing, you keep getting what you got.
So if you want something different, you got to do something different. And I understand there is so much pressure. I had to have an African explain that to me. And I never looked at it like that until he said it. That's why I love talking to foreigners, because they just have a whole different perspective because they're not born here in this country.
Right.
And they just see things differently. And the thing that he said to me that stuck out in my mind, he says that there is so much pressure on you in this country, not to be, but to have.
Yes.
Have all these materialistic things, and you can't keep up with them.
You can't.
They are coming out with new shoes, socks, sweaters, jackets, phones,
Yes, to just have.
The 12 goes out, the 13 comes in.
Yes.
The 2021 phone goes out, the 2022 is in. And it's like, look at cars. New cars come out in September.
Right. And
your car is 2 years old and you want another one already. You haven't even paid the principal on that car and you're ready to refinance to get another one just so you can look good for the Joneses. But nobody told you that the Joneses were in bankruptcy court. They didn't tell you that, did you?
Yeah.
And then when you go to file bankruptcy, there's a whole new system now because we have learned living in this system that there are certain information that we have access to help us rebuild our credit. So now you can go take a credit course. You can count it. You can file bankruptcy, but you got to take a course.
Yes.
Well, why y'all didn't give us this course and money before
we ended up bankrupt? Why didn't you want us to prevent it?
That wasn't the plan. The plan was to keep you in debt till the day you die.
Mm-hmm. That is the plan.
And when you're gone,
yes.
It doesn't matter because the bills are going to keep coming. I remember when my brother passed some 20-something years ago, and I was over his estate. I kept getting bills, and I was like, I'm sending you the letter back deceased, and they still keep
they're like, yeah, but we want somebody to pay this.
Somebody's gonna pay this.
If you own property, they want to charge your house.
Right.
They'll try to make you pay even if you're gone.
I'm telling you, a debtor called me on the phone and said, okay, well, he's gone, so how do you plan to pay? I'm like, excuse me?
That's a debt, not mine. I'm sorry.
That debt is not mine. Well, somebody's got to pay. Well, I suggest you go to such and such cemetery and have a conversation with him.
Right. I'll give you the address of where he lay.
Where you can reach him, because I can't help you. And they will baffle you. They will have you thinking that you are less than because you don't have what it is that they say you should have. When you had it, you were born with it. You were born with the same thing all the rich folks, monetary rich folks have. You just haven't learned how to develop it. And until you get some quiet time to yourself, at least 5 minutes, I ain't got time to be doing no breathing exercise. I ain't got time to be doing all that. Well, then you don't have time to learn the truth about yourself and who you are and why you came here to express yourself in the way in which you do.
Yes, because the force, the life force energy is in the air. It's the air you breathe. It's the God force. It's the consciousness of creation. So when you're breathing in, you're ingesting the energy of creation, and that's what gives you the inspiration. That's why they call it inspire. So when you are inspired, then the ideas come to you and you can create. All of us are powerful creators, but you have to be quiet and listen and go within where all the power of God is. So if you're looking on the outside and people telling you their ideas and programming you to do what they want you to do, you'll never discover the answer. It is within, and you have to breathe it in, and it will come.
And actually, it's already there. It's just been there waiting for you to discover it.
Recognize it. That's right. It's already.
It's been there all the time. If you just joined us, myself and my co-host, executive producer, Naeem Latif of the Female Solution and On Air Everywhere, we're discussing that countdown to cashless Christmas. And why have we been thinking the way that we've been thinking? Because we've been programmed. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just that now that you know better, you do better.
That's right. And you know better, you do better. And that's really our responsibility. We have to choose to pull away from this collective brainwashed consciousness that tells us we must spend and we must buy what others will consider worth admiring so that they will see us as better and therefore respect us. You have to erase all of that thinking.
So we'll be lovable.
Yeah. Thinking you can buy love.
I think I have a call because we're having some difficulties at the switchboard.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because I know me and V, I just tried to call in and they keep throwing her, drops us off.
Yeah. Well, we got you live. You are live on the air right now. If you'd like to comment, we'd love to hear what you have to say.
I don't know what the subject is, but it's a good day to be alive.
You are absolutely right. And I started to send you a link and I didn't, but I have you here now, and that's all that matters. This is Baba Kwame Sunhorse from Georgia. Today we're discussing the countdown to a cashless Christmas.
Well, that's even better because it's really not a Christmas. It's really the sun crossing the equator and coming back up.
Yes.
That's been its nature since we've been on this planet. You know, people got to understand, you know, they go on vacation and you have the sister on there that does the travel and all of that. Most people want to stay at a 5-star hotel. We stay on a 5-star planet.
Okay.
We got all the 5 elements on here to keep us alive and keep us going. How are we treating our hotel that we live on? Because the thing that we got to understand is cashless means that we understand that money only stands for my own natural energy yields. It's how we use our energy with our planet. Because if we work in harmony with it as the indigenous people did, we didn't have a banking account or a debit card when we were here before the invaders came. They came with all of this cash, what we consider fiat, false trade, because the same 3 things that put us in indigenous people into intergenerational trauma and us into chattel slavery is the same 3 things that they're doing right now.
Yes.
And that's number 1 is we got more liquor stores.
Ooh.
We got more guns that's killing each other, and we don't manufacture anything or bullets. And then we want to wear everybody's designer clothes that don't have a name that sounds like us. So these are the challenges we have in beginning to know that we are a story of ourselves. And when we begin to look at overstanding 1 is that you are the one you've been waiting for.
Amen.
And if you look at the world you create your world from within, not outside of you. And what they're doing is disconnecting you by putting you into an artificial intelligence. And the artificial intelligence is not stronger than divine intelligence. And I've been listening to Earth Keepers. They're doing a marathon of different shamans and people that are the conscious keepers. And the people from the indigenous part of the South Americas are telling us Pachamama is here because she's here to give us what we need. That's Mother Earth. And she's here to give us that. And the indigenous people here are saying Ina Maka is here to give us what we need. We've got to stop being in the mind of greed. We're given what we need. The thing is that we want everything outside of us, and it's learning to use what's within your own heart. Because in your heart, the word heart is the word earth. And so it's your heart is the earth. And if you get in sync and you begin to, in the word earth, there's the word ear. And if you use your ear to hear the earth frequency, you'll become balanced and stop making tears, because the word tear is in the word earth. And you'll stop crying over something that, you know, is not for real. You know.
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow. That's wow.
It's a lot to learn.
Yes.
And there's a natural rhythm of the earth. There is a natural flow that is gentle and unrushed and calm and peaceful. And when we're out of sync with that and we're not calm and peaceful, we create such a disruption. And there can be no peace without unless there's peace within. And when there is a belief that you must buy something in order for you to be at peace. And as Baba Kwame is saying, you don't realize this beautiful earth we're living on. We get all this wonderful sunshine for absolutely free. The birds sing to us all the time. They don't charge a fee for the concert. We can the sun is not costing us anything.
I love that. I love that.
We don't see in nature. There are no banks and no credit unions.
Okay.
Everything is given to them, and they move about the earth. We're encroaching on their environment.
Yes.
Destroying what they need, and the thing that's really is scary. We're destroying the insects, and the insects is the first line of the life force that balances with the community of the forest. Because, like Naima says, and Assalamu alaikum to my sister Naima.
Wa alaikum salam, Brother Kwame. Yes.
And she was speaking about what Bob Marley was singing, the natural mystic flowing.
Yes.
The natural mist.
Yes.
It flows. And the part of it is that we have to understand, there's two great oceans, the Atlantic and the Pacific, left brain and right brain. Because our brains are water. The rivers are veins.
Yes.
These are, and the human body is what? 70% water, the brain is 80%. How do we navigate through our minds? How do we navigate? That's why we have friendships, relationships, partnerships. Right. It's because you learn how to navigate the neural nets of your thoughts, because your thoughts create your actions.
Right.
Powerful. See, that's the wisdom of an elder.
Yeah.
Norris from Georgia.
I know. I'm here trying to know. I'm here. I don't know, so I'm looking to know. That's why I'm speaking. And it says, behold the words of our ancestors. They're written in books. Open them, read them, and study their wise counsel. We're losing ancestors. We just lost bell hooks. Some Patrice Sume. Kate. We're losing these great writers that are putting the energy that comes from the unseen to the seen, giving us the spiritual messages that they came as human beings to receive and transmit, because the cosmic seed. Tomorrow is the beginning of winter. That sun is going across that equator. It's going to stay down there 3 days and come back up, and then they go like, oh, Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus ain't. And the other part about Christmas is that is the part in teaching your child that you lie to them.
Tell the truth.
Yeah, I foresee that custom is going to disappear.
To lie to your own child, saying that somebody else gave them what they think was under that tree. Somebody brought when you bought it. So, and then they grow up, and then you tell them, ain't no Santa Claus. So the thing that the child realizes is, well, what else have you lied to me about?
And that's a whole other conversation. Now you got to explain your way up out of this lie you've been telling for 15 years.
and 7 years, because it says, the Roman says, is that give me a child, a man, a boy, by the age of 7, and I'll show you the man. Because in those first 7 years of a child's life, we go through 7. The body changes every 7 years.
Every 7 years.
The first 2 months in the womb, you're an embryo. The next 7 months, you are fetus. You grow all the things you're going to need to come into this world. The next 7 years is learning to be the person that you're going to be. And the other 7 is that you now begin to develop the body to reproduce life that you were given inside the womb. You were given, the eggs and the sperm were given to you inside of the womb. When you come out, the second 7 on the earth, you're able to use that to reproduce life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yes, it is. So we have to be prepared for that great task of reproducing ourselves. And when we're given wisdom, we can be prepared adequately.
Right. And that's what we call a child. He's not a teenager. That's just a numeric system. He's to be added the lessons of adulthood. Adolescent.
Adolescent.
You add a lesson so he knows how to be a woman, how she can become a woman, and how he's to become a man. That's the part of the adolescence.
I love that. You
adolescent.
Add the lesson.
Yeah.
So you can't be lying during the lesson, telling them about a man coming down the chimney. Who? First of all, he ain't got no business in your neighborhood, looking like he looking. So the child is probably already thinking, it's like, okay, so who is this man and why is he coming down the chimney? And first of all, we don't even have a chimney, so where else is he coming to? He gonna sleep in the middle of the night?
What are you gonna do? Come through the vent.
Right.
Right. Well, that's the thing, and I think somebody dealt with. I think on an episode of Good Times, with J.J. Walker and all of them.
Yeah. I remember that.
When just talking about how ridiculous that is for people who are living in high-rise buildings to be teaching that to their children.
Right.
We put our children through so much emotional distress. And feeling like there's something wrong with them because they look on TV and they see Leave It to Beaver and they see all these other families, and that's not their reality. We end up indoctrinating them at a very early age with the thought that there's something defective about their life and idea of being less than because they don't have. And that's where that starts. So if your idea is planted very early that you are of lesser value because you don't have certain things, then your whole life you're going to be feeling defective instead of knowing you came here perfect and you are perfect just as you are. And you have everything everybody else has because all of this belongs to the Creator. All of this, we are all borrowing it. So nobody has any more wealth than anyone else. That's the reality. If we can instill that thought in the minds of our children early on, before the indoctrination, then we can create a balanced generation of children that don't have the inferiority complexes. They don't have the sense of unworthiness. They don't have the resentment of other people, and they can create what they need because they know all the abilities is already inside of them. We can do that if we get them, like you say, in those first 7 years performing. Teach them early. That way we don't have to undo the negative brainwashing.
Right.
And the part that you're absolutely correct, Naima. And the thing is that when we were coming up, it was called a television.
Yes.
It tells the vision of how they want to see you work through this world by having a false world, because they even gave you the soap operas to wash your brain.
Say that.
Soap operas was to brainwash you to think, this is how people live their social life. And we had grandmothers and mothers that sat there and watched that every day and cried over people that don't even care about you.
Thank you. Don't know you and don't care to know you.
And if you're not careful, you'll end up imitating those same kind of dramas in your own life, because you become what you consume, whether it's consuming through eating or consuming through watching and listening. Whatever you put inside of you, you become that.
And so generations of families, of mothers, daughters, of grandmother, great grandmother, mother, daughter. What do we talk about at Christmas? Girl, did you see the soap? So and so had an affair. So and so got married. Someone had an abortion.
And next thing you know, you're living it. You're living that life. You got it.
Go ahead, Tommy.
And the thing that really happens with it is that we have to understand that at kitchen table universities, when that mother was in there cooking, them grandmothers was in there cooking and doing what they were doing, they were given lessons on how to take less and feed it and make it taste the best to you.
Yes.
And the thing that we had to understand is that the women of our generations are the creators of the next generation.
Yes.
And what she does with the energy and directing that child, and with the male energy there to help to provide for her, to protect her, and to profess to guide that young man into becoming a man, is what we have seen the destruction come about in our home.
Mm-hmm.
The destruction of a nation begins in the home, the African proverb says.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so when we allow someone else to come through our doorway or into our home, and now they come in as plasma TVs.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's how they're coming into our house. We let people in our house every day. We let them in and have them running our whole family. We let them come in.
Echo.
The
echo. What's that thing called? The echo, where you talk to it and tell it what to do, what radio station to put it on. The echo.
Yeah.
Alexis, yeah.
Oh, Alexa, yeah.
Even now on the phones, we say, Siri, do this. Siri, do. That means that they're listening to you and they're controlling your behavior by understanding that everything that you perceive that you want or need is going to be given in a false image of artificial intelligence. That's the whole setup for the Wi-Fi crack addicts that they're developing.
Oh, wow.
Crack addicts.
Wi-Fi crack addicts.
Wow. I never looked at it like that.
So if you ever watch a child or you watch a person, when they can't get Wi-Fi, they act just like a junkie missing a fix.
Sure do. Oh my goodness. I didn't think about that. Girl, I ain't got no internet. Yeah. What am I going to do? How am I supposed to communicate? Well, sit down and get quiet and listen to what your inner spirit is telling you.
You're scared to hear yourself think.
Yes. Let alone breathe.
Don't want the silence of your own mind.
You're afraid to be with yourself.
Right.
Because they've taught you so well to be without yourself so long, you don't know what it is to get quiet and breathe. This is you think you crazy, girl. I ain't got time to be doing that breathing. What I'm gonna breathe for? I'm breathing just fine. Why I gotta turn TV off? Why I gotta turn my cell phone off? Why I gotta turn the radio off? Why do I need to do any of that? Why can't I just be?
Right. And when I have people come down here to the forest to do camp outs and do sweat lodges, it amazes me because where I used to live at, soon as you turn off and get on the gravel road coming back to where I'm at, you don't get no signal.
None.
And I watch people get out of the car and go crazy.
Yeah.
You got Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I ain't giving you my password.
Okay.
I know. But you know, Baba Kwame, and you know, of course, we as a human family are evolving back to the point where we are actually telepathic, and all of us have the capacity, but it's been stunted over centuries of time. So we're evolving back to that point where we won't need these electronic devices to communicate, because all they're doing is really imitating what the brain already is designed to do.
Right.
So once that happens, then all of this extreme behavior will dissipate. But right now, because our minds are controlled by these devices, these electronic devices, the people who putting out information that's brainwashing us and leading us to spend money that could be better used for other things, but instead we've been brainwashed to think that we must buy status and importance and respect. So we're in this period of brainwashing now. So once we really wash our brains and cleanse it of all of this garbage, all of this dirt,
breathing does.
That's what breathing does. You got to clear it out. It's like the water that washes away the dirt. And we can do that.
But how do you come into the world? The woman's water breaks. She washes the way for you to come into the world.
That's right. That's amazing. That's how you come in.
Water breaks.
Yes.
Come on, because you developed in what? You develop in embryonic fluid. The same thing as the ocean.
Yes. Yes.
And what we do is we get turned on to a frequency that is not human. The thing that happens with it is that we overstand the urban means that you're banned from nature's frequency by putting you in concrete, steel, tombstones, and glass and cement of a dying society. You're herded into that type of environment and taken away from the trees and your plant relatives, the animals, the four-legged, the winged ones, the crawly ones, the ones that crawl on the belly. You're taken away from your natural environment and put into an unnatural environment, and you're expecting people to act sane. Are you insane?
Yes, yes, absolutely, positively. I have friends who have houses. I live in an apartment, and they all are on the ground. And I ask them, how often do they go out and sit out in the grass? Girl, ain't nobody trying to go out and sit out there in no grass. Is you crazy? Got mosquitoes and bugs.
Right. And the other part is they go get out there and give you a ticket if you don't cut your grass and have it trimmed and looking there, and don't walk on it, because people go like, that's the best place for you to walk. That cement is not connecting you to nothing.
Thank you. Thank you. You need to be barefoot.
Right. Your soul is being lost because you don't connect to your mother.
Right.
Yes. That's right. That's what it is. So this incoming generation, those who are of childbearing and child producing age now, when they can hear the message, then once the man impregnates the woman, they can begin the process of creating the right mind, heart, and spirit that's going to come forth from that womb. Because we can, in fact, reverse all of this that has happened.
Right.
This is what this whole coronavirus season is about. It's the cleansing. So we're going to have things come to the surface. Just like when you clean your house, when you vacuum the rug, well, the dirt comes up that's been ground in, and you see, oh, if you look at the bag of dirt after you sucked it up in the vacuum, go, oh, that was in there. Yes, it was there.
And you were breathing all of that, inhaling all of
it. Yes, it's been in your house all that time, but you just didn't notice. So it's like what's happening on the earth. All the dirt that's been ground in is coming to the surface so we can see it. So that's why you're seeing all this outrageous behavior, all these atrocious things happening. This is what's been inside of people. This is what has been ground into them, and it needs to come up and out so we can see it, so we can toss it out. Because what do you do with the dust and the dirt that you suck up out of the carpet? You toss it out. So we have to get it up out of the insides of the people, in the hearts and minds of the people. It has to come to the surface so we can see it, and then we can get rid of it. But this is what's happening.
Naima, you're correct, because the thing is, there's soil, which is live earth. It's living earth, is soil. Dirt is nothing but the residue of, just like we get ash. That flakes. That's all dirt
dead
is.
Skin.
The cells of the soil.
That's right. That's right.
The dead cells of the soil. It just pushes it out because it pushes it to the surface so it can blow in the wind and go somewhere. This is the part that we're not overstanding. We are living soil. And what we're doing is becoming dirt. We're decaying from the inside out.
Wow. I never.
That's what has to be cleansed. And it's a matter of breathing in, cleansing all of the dirt and debris out.
And this is what the earth does. The climate change is not the earth is doing what it's doing to refurbish herself, because she's knowing the new cycle she's in. It's man that is causing climatic situations to happen on the earth by what he's extracting and overusing and polluting into the atmosphere that we breathe.
Right.
Why the breath is so damaged is because when you turn on 5G frequency, it's the same frequency as oxygen. The human body becomes confused, and they're breathing in something that's artificially made that is in the air that is not supposed to be there.
Oh. Oh. Wow.
Why do they want people to wear masks? It's because they're knowing they're putting the damage in the air to create the Wi-Fi crack addicts.
Wow. Is that phenomenal?
Yes. You know, we see it happening. However, we have to remember that the earth is an intelligence, and the earth will cleanse itself. And everything that is not healthy for it, just like your body, you know, pushes out toxins. You know, even it might even come through your pores. You know, you get blemishes and things like that. But it runs out of your nose, or you know.
Yes.
I mean, you're always expelling toxins,
yes.
And so is Mother Earth. So
that's why I've been blowing my nose this morning, because I had butter pecan ice cream Thursday, and I'm still paying for it.
Yes. So when you get mucus coming out, yeah.
And see, the thing that we're right now, we're in our solar system is right now, we're in another part of the galaxy that we have not been in 26,000 years. Whoa. We're getting energies that are coming from this part of the galaxy that is changing the human consciousness. Right? And what we're now receiving in the energies that's coming from above, that they're trying their best to distort and to change. But the thing of it is that we have to understand how to reconnect ourselves back to our cosmic. That's why I said we need the overground railroad. What's over us is the Milky Way. The universe bends, the arc of the universe bends towards justice. There is cosmic law, there's universal law, and there's natural law. These laws cannot be broken. They will manifest in destruction of humans. We will become like the dinosaur, but these laws will not be broken. The Creator's laws are just laws. But what we're doing and man is creating is that he's attempting to, those men that are creating, attempting to make themselves the law. Because he stopped using his natural instincts. That is man, the human body has its own law. Because when you do a naming ceremony with a baby in the African tradition, on its 7th day of life, you bring that child before the community. Baba takes the baby, and he has water and gin or palm wine. They both look the same. He puts his finger in that water, and he puts it into his finger in the baby's mouth. The baby suckles. He puts it into that gin and puts it in the baby. The baby cries. He says, "This child knows right and wrong. It's your charge to make sure it doesn't forget." And this is where we get the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Because the village all sees that this child already comes into this planet knowing right and wrong. Charge is to keep him in that knowledge of right and wrong.
Say that. Yes, sir.
That is the responsibility of.
And you can't do that if you're lying to them, telling somebody's coming down the chimney. You can't do that.
You blow that whole thing.
It goes against nature.
Yeah. So we must be truthful with our children, and we must know what season we're in, because we are going through a transformation.
Stop lying to yourself first. Then you stop lying to your children.
Then stop lying to the children.
That you're saying truth. And see, the only vowel in the word truth is what?
You.
You know, if you are not true, then you can't be true to someone else. If you don't know how to love you, you can't. Maybe I love you, but how do you love yourself?
Oh.
And I ask you.
That's right. Yes.
You don't love yourself, who are you lying to?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, because you got to lie to self first for you to believe the lie that you're telling your children.
That is right. That is right. So we have a responsibility to keep reiterating what is true for those who might be stuck in the brainwashing. And they know it's not working, but they may not know what to do to change things because everybody around them is doing the same brainwashed behavior. And when it becomes part of the collective consciousness where everybody is agreeing to do the same wrong thing, then it's hard for a child to tell what is the right thing because everybody's doing the wrong thing.
And what is the saying? Insanity is doing the same thing over, expecting it to change.
Right.
If you're constantly doing this and creating war and destruction and doing in the name of what you quote unquote say is your God, then something is wrong with us. Because, you know, that's just a downright raw way of doing something. Raw and war is the same word.
Never looked at it like that.
Yes.
Wow.
So, and there's no need for war because war only happens when people refuse to share. It comes right back to that. If we just do that one thing, we can solve everything. And it doesn't take any money to give. You can give time, talent. You can give love, support, encouragement.
And even with giving time, and the thing is that we got to understand how that works. The word is emit. We have to give the energy because time is the word emit.
Yes.
And what they do with it is that they've taken how you emit your energy and they bind you, tie me, bind me. So I can't emit it because I got to hurry up and get to work. I got to get a 40-hour, put in 40 hours so I can be weak.
That is what it is, isn't it? Tie me. So I can't emit the energy that I need to actually do the positive thing that I came here to do.
Right. And so what you're doing is you put in a D-A-Z-E, a days, or you have to go D-A-Y-S, days. 5 days a week, or you have to work 5 days a week to be W-E-A-K or W-E-E-K. How we subliminally put those spells into the person to get them to perceive that they're gaining something when you're not. You're draining a lot.
Say that.
You're draining a person to work them to benefit you to have, because there's a social addiction, and those that are in the billionaires and all of these, they have an addiction of consumer addiction. Long as you get you to consume, this is what the whole internet is about. Is how much information can we get to see how much consumption we can get them to want.
Yeah, it's working, baby. It's working live and well. You go on the internet, you go check your email, and you see something pop up on the sign. It's like, okay, I was looking for some camera equipment a year ago. Why is this still up here? I got the equipment. Why is this?
They know you're looking. They've been tracking you.
In your Facebook.
Yes.
Your face created a book.
Yeah.
They now know everything in your behavior. Only thing that they cannot put into that book is your soul.
Yeah.
And that's debatable because that's debatable.
Some people seem like they've given their soul.
They seem like they've given that soul away already. Wow. This has been a very interesting show. Countdown to Cashless Christmas. I have been joined by our executive producer, Naima Latif, and Baba Kwame Sunhorse from Georgia, who just lit the show up with all this knowledge and information. I am just honored to have you on the show as a resource because the information that you bring is priceless. Cashless, priceless.
It's cashless.
Yes. It's priceless.
Knowledge is
It's cashless. Yes, sir.
Creator gives us a thought, and see, a thought is faster than light.
Yes.
A thought is
Because
faster.
we are light.
And the thing that it is that when you have that thought and then you take it and you either you can speak it forth or you can imagine what it's going to look like. That is a perception of creation. That is your purpose of what you come in to give to the world.
Creation, absolutely.
Musicians take the unseen and make it heard.
Yes. Isn't that an amazing gift?
Yes, yes.
Take the unseen and make it heard. That's
absolutely phenomenal. I wish I
could all hear,
but I can't. I can hear. I have good ear, but I can't sing. I can't dance. I can't play nothing. I can't do none of that. But
and Zelda, you have. See, there's people say, "Well, how come you ain't wrote a book? Where's your book at?" Right? I'm an orator. From the brain to the mouth is a short distance, but from the brain to my end of my hand, it's a long distance.
Yes.
And it gets confused going through all of
it. Well, all of your spoken words on the Female Solution have been recorded, so we're your audio book.
Yes, yes. So you have a book. You have an audio book. Yes, sir. And I am going to be taking excerpts from all that was. You see all these notes I got? I got 2 pages.
Wow.
And I'm on a 3rd page. So I'm going to break this down in little increments, like in 2-3 minute increments, because people have very short attention spans. They're not going to take the time to listen to this 2-hour show. And it's up to me as a part of this team, my responsibility to give it to them in a format that they can accept 2 or 3 minutes, bite-sized.
You know what that's making money at?
Please.
That same concept, TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
TikTok
right. Bite-sized information. Yep.
Bite-sized information gives you a quick of your dopamine in that quick right there.
Wow.
Trained to be hypnotically taken.
Yes.
So that's how you teach, just in bite-sized bits.
And that's exactly what we're going to do here as we leave the show today. Thank you so much, Baba Kwame Sunhorse. Oops, Naima. I lost you, Naima. There you are. Okay. So thank you, Baba Kwame. We sincerely appreciate you.
All right. Thank us.
Thank us. Amen. It is 9:01. Thank you so much for keeping us company here today on the Female Solution. Be sure and join us tomorrow for self-care with Jody Susan. You want to give us a closing thought, Naima? What to expect Wednesday?
Wednesday, we are going to prepare for our Global Peace Summit. So we're going to give you a bit of a snapshot of some of the people who are going to be part of this uplifting meeting, where you can see that there are people who are changing the world and the way it should be, and be encouraged to know that there is a changing global collective mindset. People are pushing for peace. And so this is our theme for the coming year, because we know that we are in transition. The coronavirus has given us an opportunity to revamp and reshape the world we live in. And it's made it necessary for us to transform ourselves. So we're going to meet some people that are helping to make that happen, so that we can be encouraged and know this isn't a bad time. It's a good time. It's a time of transformation. So we can interpret what we see differently, and therefore we can be inspired.
Yes. And we are inspired. And we're inspired that you stayed with us here on the Female Solution. Be sure and like and subscribe and share this video. And subscribe to youtube.com Higher Learning TV show and Facebook HLN TV1 as I leave you with the closing of our Female Solution staff. And here we go. Take it away.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV show invites you to an invigorating invigorating conversation with a team of hosts through Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with ZeldaSpeaks. Tuesdays, Self-Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Nima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
And you are part of the solution. If you want to get in touch with us during the week, we are here and we are available. You can always contact me at contact me via email at info@higherlearningnetwork.org. That's info@higherlearningnetwork.org. And sometimes people like to call, so we'd like to give that number to 312-409-6619, as I remind you to continue the cashless Christmas and be mindful of the energy that you are spending. So let us not spend anymore. Let us invest in ourselves and in our community. And this is one of the wonderful ways that you can do it.
This holiday season, let's be more aware of who we are in this world as we dig deep into this experience. The Mindfulness Stress Relief 6 CD audio program was designed with your needs in mind. I designed this program because I wanted to share my recovery from an accident and how the technique I learned got me back on track. The Stress Reduction Home Practice Manual is another tool to use to monitor your progress throughout this experience. Inspirational Conversations Volume 1 is another tool. A page a day keeps your sanity at bay. Volume 2 is also available. It's a lifelong journey, and we may as well equip ourselves with all the tools and techniques that we can handle, one day, one step at a time. My first book, The Passion Principles, Pathways to Purpose, Power, and Profit, is now available on audio. Date, Rate, Checkmate, A Guide to Your Potential Partner, is a great ebook for those seeking companionship. Marriage is so much more than what you think it is. If you'd like to write about your experiences and earn income from it as well, then consider the Inner Author Guide to Self-Publishing, ebook that you can easily download and get started today. As a bonus, you all have a free download on how I reversed type 2 diabetes at diabeticdonut.com. My personal experience with diabetes show how it's possible to overcome. If I can do it, anybody can. Another bonus is the 2022 It's My Time, I Own It calendar for women. Limited copies available, and I only have a few to share with the first order. These are the tools and techniques I've learned and developed over the years.
So be mindful in your giving.
Are you stressed out? Are you ready to learn some quick techniques on how to de-stress immediately? Then book your free 30-minute consultation with ZeldaSpeaks, the Mindfulness Stress Relief Coach, at higherlearningnetwork.org. Thanks for sharing.
And enjoy the journey. Mindfulness matters. And thank you for tuning into the Higher Learning Network TV radio show. And with my executive producer, Naima Latif. Thank you so much. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to tomorrow morning right here on The Female Solution, 7 till 9 a.m. Please remember to share and like and comment on this video. And just know that the fact that you stayed here with us today lets us know that you are of sound mind and consciousness, and you are the person in your community that will forward it. Each one teach one. On that note, stay on purpose, stay empowered. Stay tuned tomorrow morning, 7 till 9 a.m. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste, hotel. And as we used to say back in the day, love, peace, and hair grease. Make it a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now. Mwah. And get some sun, get some nature, hug a tree.